and welcome to another video here for the Sanitarium.FM YouTube channel. I'm the Predicted Cyborg, and we're having a look at another game today. Now, usually we would be doing a review of this game, but through playing it, I found out it was an early access game, and it's far from finished, so this isn't going to be a review, more a sort of first look at a game that is in development. The game in question is Empire Architect. It is a little city builder slash management game, and it was developed and published by the same studio, Batholith Entertainment. As I said before, this is an early access game. It was released onto Steam on the 26th of May, so there's not really been a lot of time to put too much into the game yet. The main premise of the game is simply to build a little empire city. This is set around more ancient civilizations, ancient European civilizations I should say. The default one, the only one that is currently in the game, is Rome, and that kind of gives you an idea of the aesthetic of the game. You place your town hall as a centre for your city, and then you build out around it roads and homes, which are tents, architects' offices, forums, markets, trading posts, and so on and so forth. So far, the majority of what's in the game is a lot of buildings. As I say, you have your forums, you have an architect office, which is supposed to maintain the buildings around it. You have homes, which are tents. You have various resource gathering buildings such as lumber yards and clay pits. You have workshops which will allow you to develop raw resources that you get through the resource gathering buildings into something a little bit more useful. And then you also have finishing shops which can finish some of the more processed things, or even some of the raw things, into finished materials such as clay into bricks and so on and so forth. Now, the reason you're doing this is simply because you need those things for trade routes. Trade routes are basically the way that you fund your little empire, your little city. You can open up a special window, you'll see what trade routes are available, and you can select which one you want to do. Now, this will mean that you are trading away some of the resources that you gather, or some of the finished products that you've made, for other finished products and for gold. Now, you need gold to build your buildings, although sometimes some buildings do actually require other resources as well, usually some form of log or lumber from what I've seen. Now, reading the Steam page for the game, the developer has said that he aims to keep this game into early access for about 5 or 6 months, which is plenty of time to try and add in the things that are missing in this game. This game, from the start menu you can see there is going to be a historical campaign, but it's not yet been implemented. As well, there should be other civilizations added. As I said earlier, so far we only have Rome in there. I'm assuming that we're going to get things like Greece and various other ancient civilizations that have similar building styles, or possibly even slightly different ones with different buildings. Maybe there will even be certain perks that are afforded to each civilization, I don't know yet. Now, having played a lot of games of this kind of genre, I know what I kind of expect to see, and again, various things are still kind of missing from this game because of its early development stage. For example, while there are some details about what a building requires and how many people will work in a certain building, it doesn't always tell you exactly how much is being produced, which is some sort of feedback data that is kind of missing. If you are placing items such as farms to produce food and everything, you kind of need to know how many people you have consuming how much food and how much food a single farm will produce, so you can actually keep on top of that. As it is, I will place as many farms as possible and just try and keep an eye on the happiness of my overall town and see how many are starving, because usually starving was the problem that was most common while I was playing through this game. Such details and data and feedback are actually pretty necessary for playing this genre of game, so I'm assuming that this is going to be added a little bit down the line during development, and I hope that it's going to be soon, because it would make my enjoyment of this game a little bit more bearable and that much better. I will say as well that some of the things that are actually in the game don't seem to work properly. For one thing, while I was testing out the game first of all, as I mentioned earlier, architect offices are apparently supposed to maintain your buildings, but an awful lot of times I'd have a lot of buildings falling down, usually homes, and in one case actually the architect office, and even though I had offices placed nearby, they didn't really seem to be doing all that much. I don't know if I just had to place more of them, or if they have a certain radius, but again, this is not made clear, so either I'm doing something wrong, or it's just not implemented properly, or I don't really know know what's going on. The lack of information and feedback that I'm getting from this game means that I don't know if this is a glitch or if, as I say, if I'm just doing something wrong. Other things in this game include a tech tree, which isn't really a tech tree. You kind of buy slight improvements to things like your cart pullers and so on through various tech points you earn through playing the game and building up your little city. You have attacks incoming from AI players, which you can build military bases and things to hopefully try and fend off. Again, some of these military buildings use lumber or wood, so it's a good idea to get a lumber mill and the other various things set up as soon as possible. And yeah, this is basically it. I've never really reached any kind of game over, but I have had various cities that have just been constantly harassed by AI soldiers. I've had cities that have basically all collapsed because the architect buildings weren't really doing what they were supposed to do, seemingly. At the moment, this game is in a very early development stage. It is kind of available at the moment for 20% off on Steam. If you want to follow this game as it develops, because it is a game with potential and it works pretty well, any little glitches and bugs aren't really that obvious except for the architect's office, which, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not sure if it even is a glitch or a bug. So, you know, if you want to follow this game as it develops, then yeah, go give it a go. Otherwise, if you want to have a game that's a little bit more meaty than it is, I would advise waiting a little while until more content is put in. Overall, this game does have potential, but it might be worth waiting a while until there's something more to play with. And so that does it for another video here from the Sanitarium.FM. This was a first look at Empire Architect. Remember, we are a gamer radio station, so tune into our website www.sanitarium.fm for radio shows and the articles. Join us on our Discord if you want to come and have a chat to make use of our perks. And of course, stay tuned to this YouTube channel for more news, reviews and more of the same. I'm Cyborg. I'll see you next time.